A pleasant good night to everyone who is looking on here. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. According to Ingram, who is not here with us tonight, welcome to one and all. Tonight we have with us Master Melvaughn Coutain, who is no stranger to the BWTM station. Right, so Master Coutain, how are you doing today?
Well, good. I'm tired, really tired. I'm since 4 o'clock. I up. I just get up 4 o'clock in the morning to meet a guy who does assist me to go at the Woburn school. So I'm pretty tired, and when I'm done, I go and work with some kids.
Okay. I can understand that because I know you're a very busy man. We really do appreciate all the work that you do in Grenada. But tonight, we want to consistently focus on the Olive Branch project that you are doing in Grenada. But first, before we go ahead and speak about the contribution of the Olive Branch project to Grenada and each individual living in Grenada in their own particular communities, we would like you to just tell us who is Master Melvaughn Coutain.
Okay. Well, basically, I'm a Caribbean man. Born both parents Grenadians. My mother grew up in Trinidad. My father migrated in Trinidad. I was in the early 60s. He migrated down there and he met my mother, and I enter into this world today. My father brought me to Grenada in 69. I was around 2 years, and I went to school in Liberian school in Grandans, and I went Grandan school. The last school I went to in Grenada was Palmer School. And in 1974, when it have the whole up with the independence and Bishop father died, with all the looting and stuff and riot, the Black Power movement, I was in the midst of that as a child growing up. My father went back down to Trinidad, and a year after I follow, I went back down there. Come back in 78, went for a holiday, and then I returned back down in Trinidad in 78, 79 was the revolution in Grenada. And I come back home here in 1990 with the Abubakar. Well, at them time they I grew up with my dad. My dad migrated to America. Um, late 79, he migrated to America. 79, 80 around there. Um, but left me the stepmother. I was around 10 years. As he boarded the Pan Am plane a week after my stepmother, and he had issue. I don't know, but I get caught up in the middle of relationship. I was on the street. So I learned life the hard way. I didn't have the opportunity, as I said, and I had to say to go to Trinidad, how they call junior second, senior second, all these other things. So I was the child who wanted to learn. So I go to school in the night and I work in the day. I was not a child dependent on anybody or do any interfere people stuff. I work hard, and you learn every day, learn new things, learn to paint, learn mason, learn carpentry, working well in shop. I have an uncle which was a Bajan, Uncle Green. He used to work at Elia. So I went in there, I was underage working, but I was big. And after that, I went into a place in Trinidad called a youth camp. I did the exam and I got through. I get inside of there. So my mind study plumbing. And while I was in there, I did boxing. Um, you learn life skills. I learned discipline because the military, the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment work coming with us. We did training with them. They work hard with me because I started doing martial art around 13. Grenadian parentage, living in Trinidad. On is either I learn to run or I learn to fight. So I doing martial art then. So any army, they know I doing this training. They so pressure me a lot, and I always turn a negative into a positive. More you put pressure on me, better I perform. Um, and from the graduation and continue training and stuff, and then boxing and stuff. I had an accident, so I had to quit boxing. And then 1990, Abubakar moved back to Grenada. Spent a year, went back down. 2 or 3 years after I got married again, I had my first son, and I decided I fed up with this fast life. Grenada is a place very close to my heart. So I returned back home here, and there I started off training again, meeting guys, training, working in Cali. If we go down Cali, there's a well down there. I work hard with the community to get it developed. Talking to them young fellas all in Cali school, working with them on the ground, and basically that's me. You won't see me in a party. You won't see me on the block. You'll see me always talking to youths, motivating people, talking about development, creating, coming up, building, just name it, medicine, just name it. That is Melvaughn. Anybody know it?
Okay, lovely, lovely.
Yes.
So you said that you have taken part in many things, including plumbing, boxing, discipline, the martial arts at age 13. But most importantly, something that affects us all as human beings is the fact that you grew up on the streets. Some persons might not understand it, but there's always one individual in our circle as children that has had a hard life. But you are here today doing spectacular things in the communities in Grenada, which I have been privy to see. And, I welcome the contributions that you make in Grenada even today, even as we have the COVID and so on. But I have a picture here of you, Master Coutain, that I pulled up from online. And Master Coutain is also a clean-shaven gentleman that wears a bow tie, right, on special occasions, right? So, Master Coutain, where was this? Where was this? You're muted, huh? You're muted. You need to, right.
It own we can interaction. Yeah. I only give you part of as an artisan, but as a martial artist, I grew up from my grandmother, and I learned about busham around her. And then Patrick just teach me about herbs, the use of herbs, and then I start to read. But when you see me there, is I have a lot of qualification. I'm not just talking it. Certificates in just in diverse area. And basically, that is the launch of the olive branch. I did that in 2018. We did that after coming out from Santo Domingo and Canada, studying anti-bullying in the school system. And when you see me there, I come back from China also and study Chinese medicine. I did acupressure, all this. So when you see me in that suit there, basically I was explaining, if you could have pulled up the video, the purpose of this whole olive branch, how I come about the whole. When you look at what is happening to Grenada right now with COVID and the Caribbean, I was talking about that over 15 to 20 years ago, talking about what is happening now. I'm not a prophet, but exactly what is happening now, I was talking. And right now, my brain has moved beyond that. And it's sad to see the power to be and the Ministry of Sports, the Ministry of Agriculture didn't really come on board at the time when I was talking about it. But at least I see now when I listen to programs and think what they're talking about, I really, really, really happy in my heart to see, okay, something is happening, because all COVID is telling us, brothers and sisters out there, is to eat properly. COVID is not really bad enough. COVID has made a turnaround. We've been doing a lot of importation of food. People lining up, eating fast food, fast life. And basically, COVID has really changed that. When you get up in the morning, you see a lot of women exercising, men exercising. And this is some of the good things I see happening out of COVID right now. Yeah. You're mute.
So, Master Coutain, the thing is, people may not know what the Olive Branch project is, but what I do have, I have your logo Let me just place your logo on the screen there. So that is Olive Branch project that was started by yourself, Master Melvaughn Coutain. That's correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and could you tell me when was the Olive Branch project started? What year was this?
Well, it basically it was launched in 2014. We already registered it as an NGO. It was just as a company in 2012. It was signed on that time. Franca was in office in education, so it just signed on and they accepted it within the school as part of the curriculum of the under physical education, martial art, getting into the school. Now, 2010 is the foundation where I really started. That was in 2010. There's a Grenadian in Canada named Donnie Mignon. He wanted to come back home and contribute. And somebody put me on to him, and I put him on to my brother. And as normal in Grenada, people just how you going around in circles. And he contacted me and he said, this guy's joking up to now, they haven't getting contact and nothing. I said, okay, Donnie, I'm going to ask this. I'm going to start a school and I'm going to invite you to come down to Grenada. This is the type of person I am. So I get a form and I went into GIDC and I did a course on small business and I registered that school there. And that is where I started my school, the Grenada school. But when in starting the school now, I realized the kids in the community didn't have funding. So I used to go up in Vandam. I had about 40 kids up there working with them in Vandam. I used to travel from work from SU, go up there in the evening, work with these kids, talk to them 3 days in the week and travel back down. But it wasn't profitable because none of the kids, they wasn't paying. And then it was draining my resources. And then at the time, I have my kids just the same way. So I think about how could I do something in order to generate funds and to work with the kids. And then a friend of mine come up and she said, Melvaughn, what you really want to do? And she sit down and two of us together, we put it into a document. And that was the birth of the olive branch. I say the olive branch is just like in the Bible when Noah let go the dove after the 40 days and 40 nights of flood, and that dove went and it come back with a branch. The branch is ready to extend to the community in order to help the youths and young people to see how we could help to empower them, and I could pass on some of the skills, bringing some of them masters inside. There's a lot of masters, and if you go to sit down and professional person within our community to work with the young person, talk to the girls, the boys, the ageable person, the children, and mentor them. And I say if we could do that, we could have a better society and we could go out to the Caribbean and continue doing the same thing. And this is how I started, and this is where we are fine-tuning and bringing things where it's supposed to be, in a nutshell. Yeah.
Putin, I'm aware that you have faced consistent struggles as it
Yes.
relates to support from the ministries and so on. But I do commend you for accepting the challenge and going beyond, above and beyond the call of duty, and just being a human being who is concerned about the persons in the communities. I know that you're working in so many different communities in Grenada, um, especially like Woburn and so on. How many different communities in Grenada have you positively affected thus far, would you say?
Well, basically, I got a small grant, and with the small grant, I built a greenhouse in Woburn School. I built one in GBSS. I built one in PBC, Wester Hall. Hermitage School started some work up there again. I'm supposed to do one in Convent. What is keeping us from moving forward and getting things is funding. This is it. There's a lot of funding in Grenada, but it go back again with the same thing within the ministries. There's individuals in these areas, and then you come up with an idea, somebody listen to your idea, and next thing they say create an idea just like your idea. So they suppress what you're doing because the end of the day, when you're growing up and you have fall, You keep your bag of corn inside your house. And in the morning when you come, you go keep. You take up a handful of corn and you throw it through your window. The fowl eat and it go. It come back next morning. And this is the system we live in under. In order to get support, you have to be part of a group. And when I started off as a martial artist, you're not supposed to be in politics. Martial art is a way of life. Okay? And you hear me talking about issues. I talk about issues in society that are affecting me and affecting others. So I wouldn't sit down and see people taking advantage of me or others. I wouldn't say nothing. A man of martial is a man supposed to help somebody in trouble, prevent himself from getting in trouble. This is a motto and a proverbs I live by. My master, that is what one of our motto when we started our school back in the days. Okay, we live a principle of courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit. That is an oath you take. Okay, I shall observe the tenets. Okay, so there's a tenets also. We talk about respect your elders and building your society, building strong community, and it break down. Now, all these different principles we have, when you watch and you listen to the news, what is happening today, even over the weekend, with the young man who lost his life Friday night, and then one, I think, was yesterday also. And I just recently saw in the news a youth get 30 years in prison. Earl, I keep on saying this. I would like one of you guys, please, to find out how much money the prison system or the judicial system in Grenada covering all, getting a year in the budget and work it out in ratio with the population we have, work it out and calculate or check the amount of person in prison and work it out in ratio and see how much money. I show you it must be about 100 or nearly $80 a day to keep a man behind bars. Okay? And the same thing within the school, free education, about $60 or more a year. Okay? To send a young man or girl to school. To reach 17 years or 15 years, and you have to go up in the prison and spend 30 years. Taxpayers are to manage. Now the
I agree with you, Master Coutain, that it's an unfortunate reality that we are facing in Grenada. And this is why the Olive Branch Project, to my understanding, um, is important to the development not only of youth, but to the development of the community and everyone who is in it. Now, I have some pictures here from your Facebook page from the Olive Branch Project. So what I would do, I'll just go through the pictures, and in the meantime, whilst I'm doing that, I'll just allow you to just inform the viewers what is happening here in these pictures, right? So here, I believe this is one of the places where you also do aquaponics as well in Grenada. Is that correct?
that was one of the first places I started. That is in Grace Lutheran. That is the first system I started off with learning. The greenhouse, which I built with a team from the Lutheran College. And again, there's a whole story. If I go into it, you're going to get upset. But I did a lot of work there. Even the Lutheran church and school and all this thing there, I did a lot of
Yes.
work.
Yes. So could you tell us what is aquaponics really for those who are looking on but are not aware of what aquaponics is?
Well, aquaponics been around since the days of Egypt, right? It have hydroponics and aquaponics, but basically aquaponics is a new way of farming using water and the waste from fish in order to grow vegetable. The black thing you see there, I'm just showing that just a simple system which anybody could do in their backyard. Okay, That is we went and we pick up that in Ace. This container is a normal hurricane container. You pack towels in, and we put in some holes in it and run the pipe. We have an inlet and an outlet, and then your pump. We have a pump on the ground where the pump, which you call submersible pump, it pump the water back into the grow bed and a circle. This is what you call a deep water system. Okay, and then the plants inside of them, we get the tarpaulin from what they use in the shop. We buy that and we line the green thing, we line that, we use wood and we line that inside there. Yeah, this is how we come up with that system. Where you could grow lettuce and just name it, you could grow anything inside of there. The chemistry behind it is where basically the kids learn the science in that. They could grow a lot of food. What we go in the supermarket and buy, even grapes or apples, name it, we could grow it right here in Grenada. Even mushrooms and all these different food we import in here, we could grow in Grenada. Okay? And
Mhm.
that's why I was asking the ministry, okay, let me do a pilot project and get a pilot project going, and then any pilot project, then we move on to phase two, where we just start, because I got books and everything to start teaching it in the classroom, and then you get persons involved in it, and then we can spread it from there, and then we start doing agriculture around the schools, healthy food. No, you see, when you go and buy food in the supermarket or even in market, sometimes that food was harvested about 3 4 days ago, or even 5 days. Food from the States, sometimes a whole year. They harvest some of these things and then they ship it to us, and then they spray in chemical and they keep it and make it look fresh. But when you're growing your own food, you're getting all your atoms and all your molecules from it. I'm getting food alive. I had a growth on the back and I mash it up using vegetables. So I understand how your food could be a medicine and your medicine could be a food. The sister in law called me about 2 days ago. Her, her sugar level was 215. I asked her what you're doing. She said she eating right. You're drinking water, you're drinking. She taking tablets, it ain't going on. She's seen doctor in the UK. I say, okay, just cut out eating and just juice cucumbers, carrots, peppers, celeries, parsleys, just juice that. Do about 5 pints a day. She called me,
And the
called
thing
me
is,
back yesterday.
Master Coutain, uh-huh.
She called me back yesterday. Her
You
sugar level gone down to 7. To 7. Her sugar level reach. Okay?
mhm.
Wanted to reach
Well,
5
that's good
from
news.
200.
That is
I just tried to show you.
uh-huh.
And all I
Mhm.
tell her, okay, just for 7 days, take some golden seal and echinacea. After 7 days, stop. So
Mhm.
what you're telling me, the amount of persons with diabetes and all these problems we have, all we need to do is to educate people. And this is what this whole thing is all about. As I tell you, I learn at a very young age. I've been to St. George's University. I worked there for over 25 years. And working down there, I was always in the lab doing a lot of courses and keep on educating myself. And that is how I could have go to China, because it what you keep on building. For COVID, I was studying from here on Zoom in Iran, studying kosher medicine.
Mhm.
Okay,
And
all this what this
education,
branch is all about.
yes, education is extremely important.
Hmm.
The thing is, Master Coutain, I believe that one of the problems that we have in Grenada is the importation of these goods that are consumed with GMOs, right? And it is unhealthy, and it's good to see that you are actually showing children a new way of doing agriculture. Well, not necessarily new, but most likely new to Grenada. Right now, we did a show sometime about 2 weeks ago where we spoke about um, how persons will perceive agriculture and farmers and so on, farming and agriculture. And it is not as interesting as it could be, where we only have this false belief that farmers are not as important as other professions in the community, where we also believe that farmers are just persons with dirty boots and so on. But the role that farming and farmers play in our country is extremely essential. Um, the point I'm making is the healthier that we eat, the healthier we would be. Now, I know that the late Morris Bishop said that we should eat what we grow and grow what we eat. Now, I believe if we were to take your example and plant the things that we need, that we normally would consume, all these healthy things during the COVID period, sorry, we would not have had to be running all over the place looking for crops and so on. You spoke about lettuce and cabbage and all these sorts of things, which are good, you know, and we need these things. All the nutrients from them are important. But I have a picture here from the olive branch. I believe this is somewhere you would have teamed up with Jamaica, where you made an international appearance, was it? Is
Yeah,
that
that is
was
in
this?
Trinidad. That is in Trinidad. That is Waco. See them little kids there?
Um,
Yeah, this is. I like to work with kids. That is a
mhm,
Waco wall kickboxing organization. They want me to get it going in Grenada. Again, the Ministry of Sports and them again. I was still waiting on them. But we entered that competition, and this is an international event. This event, the kids getting point. That was Lagos in Trinidad, and the kids was to go to Acapulco in Mexico to compete. And if they didn't get through in Acapulco, the final leg was to be in China. But Grenada again, um,
mhm,
we bring thing. We come back to Grenada with 6 medals. I haven't seen the Minister of Sports or anybody up to now to really congratulate these kids. Nobody from sports. When they come back, I call them. The kids, I call in the media do some ads and things with the kids and thing, and that was it. And the World Kickboxing Organization willing to come in because that is our Olympic sport. Kickboxing right now is our Olympic sport. Taekwondo is our Olympic sport. The president of Sambo, I sent one guy down in a competition and he come back to Grenada with us. Silver medal for Sambo. And they was willing again to come to train some Grenadians to get involved. All these different activities. You see, it has something called testosterone in young men, just as women have the energy. And if you have young men just sitting down, not active, they're going to get idle. That's why I find in Trinidad a lot of shooting up taking place
mhm,
because they have gone, they want to test it out. The police want to test it out on you, you want to test it out on them. The same thing around people from Cutlass should get them vexed, you get angry. What he doing
mhm,
holy? Eating instead of meat, blood.
mhm.
Okay?
And you see, Master Coutain, that's why
Into these things like
I that is why I believe that the Olive Branch project is important to communities, to each individual, because you spoke earlier about taking a negative situation and making it positive, and that is exactly what you did with your life. As a
yeah.
young, at the age of 13, you were on the streets, and here you are today. You are educating yourself, you are educating your peers, you are assistant person, you are working along with a lot of children. And I have a picture here again with you and some children who are actually not only physically looking up to you, but mentally as well because of the great example that you're setting. So let me just pull that picture up on the screen there so that persons will be able to see, right? So I have a picture and I'll put it up shortly, right? Now, the fact that you also do martial arts, right, is interesting that you have so much quality and qualifications, right? As a man in the community, and I would like to see that we put you to good use as you would like to be. There are many children in various communities. We have Woburn. I know you started something over there. We have the Library community. We have Bolio, Boca, all these places where we have a lot of youth that need guidance, and this is guidance that you are offering. I know that in the martial arts, one thing that you're big on besides the healthier living is the discipline. The healthier eating, sorry, is the discipline. And as you spoke about the violence that affects our communities, you are correct. We just recently in Grenada, a small population, 133 square miles, right? This land that sits in the sea. We have had two murders in 2 days. And this is something that is new to Grenada, right? And I believe this is where the discipline of the olive branch comes in. I believe this is where your expertise comes in and should be put to good use. And I personally would love to see the ministry pull you in and allow you to perform the way that you could to reach all the persons that need to be reached. And this is why support is needed for this satisfaction, right?
Okay.
So, my routine,
You could show some picture. I just want to share something that you have received recently. I should have worked with it. I just try this. 1 second. So you can show some photos or videos still. Go ahead.
all right, let me before you leave though, let me try to get the pictures up.
Yeah.
So tell us about the martial arts. I know normally you have made plans to go to various countries, bringing the youth that are with you, adults as well. I just recently saw you training some persons on the beach and different locations in Grenada.
Wow.
So how often do you do that?
Thanks for bringing up that. Every day. Every day, every day. Basically, you see this morning, 4 o'clock, as I tell you, I went to Woburn School. I worked at Woburn School from 5:30. I pick up the guy, we work until 7 o'clock. Back home, bathe, have breakfast, pick up my bag. I went and trained somebody 9 o'clock, still 11. A lady who wanted to learn kickboxing. So I working with her, developing her skills and her cardio. When I done with her, I head straight down and meet somebody else that giving some health issues. Okay, so people see me moving on the day they feel they're not doing anything. And some of these things you get paid for it just the same way, because as a martial artist or a naturopath, if somebody come to you and they're sick, you're not supposed to turn them away. You try to help them. This is one of the pledge we swear to when I was doing my course. Okay, to receive my certificate, just like a doctor have certain pledge, the same thing we go through. So that was my day today. And then I come back home, and then I'm up here. I had to get up 4 o'clock in the morning, which is just now, to go again because rain is falling. We need to clear because the bushes growing, the trees and the plants so I had to be out there. The greenhouse right now, I went there this morning with the rainfall. I got some plastic from the Chinese, not good at all. I wrote to Farmers Garden asking them for assistance. Nobody even answer back up to now. This is some of the thing inside of here. You wrote to them business pieces and nobody, they help who they want. Nobody answer back up to now. So
Mhm.
surely that is what I try, because I must get that going. Okay. But
Yeah.
when they come, this is how tomorrow again, I go back with them kids. If one person come, I work with them. If 10 person come, I work with them. If 20 person come, I work with them. But are they on time? Because it's a discipline. If I tell them 4 o'clock, I'll be there quarter to sit down waiting on them, because time is important. Time is what make people take you serious. Time is
Yeah,
money. You understand? So I just instill that
I
with this.
agree.
Now,
I agree.
I recently did a course on COVID, and I keep the information. My class is an international class. Okay, I hook up with the International Taekwondo Federation, and I hook up with a lot of federations around the world. Professional people from Wang Zhongli go right back. You might know who's Wang Zhongli, but that is the person they call the silver fox in the movies, and Cynthia Rock. I've been around, and these people know, all these people as mentor to me. Okay, they're still active and doing stuff. This is persons I was trying to come to Grenada to go into the school and talk to the kids, work with them. People like Chuck Norris, you got to get these people, Billy Banks to Grenada. Okay, but when you go to the person who's supposed to assist you and you hear the amount of money calling out in Parliament for a budget, the Ministry of Sports, me and you was in the Ministry of Sports. The youth officer, Mr. B. Harry, up to today, I can't get back. He can't get back to me up to today. The PS, he recommended to speak to the PS. Up to now, she can't get back to me. But then, when you hear the amount of money that is counted for youth programs, nobody invites you. You put up yourself, you ask. Nobody. The only thing that I see I was invited to today through my email is something agriculture concern GCNA. And that again dealing with politics. Because if I go there and I open it, you want people brand new. But the point is, nobody not invite you. Look, SIAP started in 2018. And SIAP over, I think I heard it talking about 40 or how much million or how much money might be directed to them and whatever it is. And since 2010, I've been knocking on the door to assist. And I have the professional, I have the manpower and everything to do it. Okay? And
Master Coutain, let me just cut you for a second. I just want to say a pleasant good evening to Ron George from Grenada. Then we also have Otavio Souza. I do hope that I pronounced the name correctly. And Otavio is looking at us from all the way in Brazil, right?
wow.
Good afternoon. We invite you all to put
Well,
your questions. Hopefully, myself or Master Coutain would be able to answer. Master Coutain is here today about his project, the Olive Branch Project, which he has brought and introduced into Grenada to ensure that the youth will have a better understanding of the way of life in Grenada. He is of the opinion, and I do agree with Master Coutain, that it does not matter where you come from or how negative your situation is or has been in the past. There are positives that could come out of it. For those of you that are joining us for the first time or that have arrived late, Master Coutain is a Grenadian citizen. He lives in Grenada. He has lived in Trinidad as well. At the age of 13, Master Coutain was faced with difficulty. He basically raised himself and he became a pillar to many in Grenada, including myself. Master Coutain, I don't believe I ever told you this, but I really look up to you for all the great work that you're doing. I'm really happy and proud to be associated with someone such as yourself and Ms. Erica Willis, directors of the Olive Branch Project. The great work that you all are doing with the limited finances that you all have.
for sure.
Extraordinary.
Yeah. Not just Grenada. I have a students who I work with, a medical student. He's a doctor today. He come to Grenada and to study. And somebody called me, Chris Pack called me. He said, Melvaughn, this guy want to learn martial art. I say, you serious? He beat me 3 o'clock every morning. He watch me. He said, okay. This guy used to come quite up in frequency in my house and knock on my door. He used to live in Montrouge. So he used to run from Montrouge up to my home, knock on my door. And that is how I know he was serious. And I get up in bed and I go with him. And we used to walk on Grenada's Beach. And by 5 o'clock, when you pass on the ground by the youth center, we used to be there back in the days. We was dripping water on the ground. 2 of us walking. This man left Grenada black belt. Today he's a lecturer and surgeon. When he come to Grenada, he always come to my school. Okay. And he also is a black belt in judo and jiu-jitsu. Okay. You're talking about somebody who's a medical doctor. And I could count around the world, not just here, even in China, India, Africa, the amount of person I work with, and they're doing well today. And I don't talk to people about fighting. I talk to people about empowering themselves, learning the arts, learning about cooking, learning about your health, learning about conscious discipline, conflict resolution. Okay? Skills. You understand? Thinking beyond. Birds. At one time in my life, I used to be studying the animals, birds in the forest, catching birds, canary, robins, parakeets. You understand? This you had squirrels. You understand? Snakes. This is you grow up around, you learn about animal and all these different things apply in your life. There's a time you used to grow fish, and you have fish. They put 2 fish inside a bottle to fight. They call them fighters. As a kid growing up, all these little fun you have. So when you watch what is happening today with the kids, and a man could just take a cutlass and just hack a next one to death, or pull out a gun and just take one life. As I tell you guys when I was talking the other day on marijuana, check the amount of persons in prison for a spliff. 8 and 5 years, 15 years for marijuana, which is a herb that God created. I'm not a smoker, but I read, you study, and marijuana only become a crime and a drug because of racism. And up to today, our own black brothers is the last set of people to legalize marijuana. The white man legalized it first before us. And it's because we don't understand what is education, our position, who you are as a black man or a black woman, who you are. A lot of us don't understand these things. And we feel having subjects or being a doctor or a lawyer or whatever it is make you somebody in society. But a lot of great persons in the world come from humble beginning, and they do great things in this world. We can empower a lot of people.
So you see, Master Coutain, we have a question from Kimron George. He is asking, what methods or ways does Master Coutain have to encourage the youth to follow or be a part of the Olive Branch Project? I can answer part of that question. If you are looking at this show now, or you will be looking at the show a bit later, you can go to Master Coutain's Facebook page and type in the Olive Branch Project Grenada, right? You can type in on Facebook the Olive Branch Project Grenada. And for those persons who are abroad, Grenada is spelled Grenada, right? Grenada. So, Master Coutain.
Yeah, let me answer this question. Basically, if somebody want to join and they're interested, get in contact with me, come in Woburn School and get in the land, let me get in the soil, help me in the greenhouse. If you cannot work and you could assist in fundraising, you could assist in bringing in persons. Also, I'll be at Last Just Playing Field Sunday morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. The reason I'm going there is because persons who serious is who coming out them time there. Okay? Tomorrow I'll be down by the youth center, going down there. Normally I go in Cameron Park. But some of the kids and them So most of the kids, and some of the kids is white kids, so they complaining about the grass and things. So I said I'll go back down there. Now I could open back up in school because I'm COVID certified. I've just had to go into the ministry, and up to today I received from my headquarters the whole information on how to open back up your school. I have all this information. And from Trinidad, go right back to Suriname. I share all these things with these guys and them. So how we could open
Master,
yeah. So
what is your phone number? What number could we contact?
my number 1473
1473
yeah 538
538
4005. And then WhatsApp.
So that's an easy number to remember.
Yes.
The area code for Grenada to contact Master Melvaughn Coutain if you are interested in joining the Olive Branch project or sponsoring the Olive Branch project, providing any form of support to the Olive Branch project. The number to contact Master Coutain on is 1473 538 4005. Right, Master Coutain? That is. What about email address? Do you have an email address for us?
My email address is martial art.
Martial arts.
Martial arts. MARTIALARTGND@gmail.com.
All right, could you just repeat that for us one more time, please?
Martial art. MARTIALGND@gmail.com.
Okay, right. So great. So we have your email address. We also have your direct number. You're also on WhatsApp, right?
They're on WhatsApp. We have a website also. Website is finishing, but there's a website also. I have two pages. One of my page, history is one of the things I big on. I did history, I did religious history, I did European history, I did African history. So history of empowering my people, educating my people, I big on that. So if you go on my Melvaughn,
how does that strengthen the Olive Branch project?
History. If you don't know your history, you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going. But that's the history part of me as a telling somebody. If you want to know what history, I have my page Melvaughn Coutain. That is about history, you see politics and things. I separate that from the Olive Branch. The Olive Branch is a non-for-profit, non-political. Okay? So if you don't want to be involved in politics on it, this is what I'm dealing with. You want to deal with herbs, you want to know about how to prepare your food properly and doing a backyard garden. You want to get a group of youths in your community. You could gather them together. I'll come and talk to them and work with you guys, and then all your bill. This is what I am about. Okay? And you build and create a little business and all you work together. That's the only way we will survive as Black people or Grenadians right now. If you're depending on a day work to put food on your table and people to give you handouts, we wouldn't make it. We must unite together. Go in your land, get persons to come in and assist you. When we finish, we go by the next person. When we finish, we go by the next person, and that is it. Then we're going to cover that plan because everybody's planting now. Now, how you're getting rid of all these vegetables when the time comes? How you're getting rid of all these foods that coming out from the earth? A lot of persons don't know how to prepare it properly. So that is our next industry. Again, is there. How you could take that food and turn it into a product. This is what, because I'm very good at making like mayonnaise and different sauces and different things. This is what we're talking about. Forget about the persons who there in the ministries and them, and they set up big speech and big projects. And this is just for us to hear on the radio and television. But when you go to them, it really hard. I could show you from 2013 the amount of labor and all kind of thing I do to go in the Bureau of Standard and the amount of money you spend. Okay, building website, borrowing money from the bank, credit union are bringing all kind of mix, all kind of things. And when you go, it's a set of stories. You just have to be going on in soccer. So the only stuff I'm telling you we could do it is as a group together, unite together and work. Don't let nobody come and tell you if you support me, I'm going to give you this and that. It would not happen. The churches.
So what we have in Grenada, Master Coutain, we have a lot of persons calling for industries and so on. But what you are saying is not only will you be growing these crops, planting and growing the crops and reaping, you'll also be bringing it to the final product.
Right. And bring it to the house.
And so on. Now,
Talking
based on what I know, right, there is there any company in Grenada that makes mayonnaise?
No, and that's a simple thing to make.
So, and we normally bring that in from different countries, and this is something that could be done in Grenada.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, mayonnaise is extremely expensive, right? It is extremely expensive. Just over here in Antigua, Master Coutain, a small bottle of mayonnaise is only about $20, 20 EC dollars. And monies that could be made in Grenada by Grenadians.
Yeah. You know how to make mayonnaise with?
Tell us.
The white of an egg and vegetable oil. That is all.
That is all?
That is all. The white of the egg and vegetable oil, put it in a blender. Just put a tip of salt in it and you just blend it up till it gets fluffy. That is all. That is mayonnaise.
That is all.
That is all.
Hold on. What? What? That is all?
Mayonnaise in 10 minutes.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Condensed milk. A tin of condensed milk is $11. I see a fella selling snow ice in town. We call snow ice in Trinidad. They say snow cone. I call him aside. I say, what is the price of your snow cone? He said $4. I said, why don't bring it down to $2? He said, what you mean? I say, watch. Take 2 cups of white sugar and a cup of skim milk and a cup of hot water. Put it in the blender, blend it up. And put it in the fridge and go back and see. And I said, that condensed milk. Just add a little cinnamon in it and make it like, I said, that is all this condensed milk. Why it is a punch. $15 for a punch. The cost of a punch could come down to about 7 or 8. So you could reach everybody. Okay? This is where we need to start thinking. Some here, the Ministry of Health had they want to create a health policy for Grenada. Somebody invited me to my email and I went. I doesn't take these people serious because I know they're not serious. Anytime you see these people calling and they have all this set of policy, it's some money they want to get from the UN or something. They're not serious because a lot of sick people. When I go in and I watch the form what they have, the first thing on the form, why it is we're not using the facilities we have in Grenada. What you think they're talking about? Going to a place like Fit for Life and body image and this. I said, so why is this is the first thing all you have on this document? Why it is all in half persons form groups and run Grana's Beach? Why you talk to people form groups and hike up Granada and Mount God? Why you talk about persons hiking up to Mount St. Catherine? Okay? Why you talk about persons at least go and work in the land? Come up with creative ways and show persons how they could do things and still get. Why did you keep on coming up with ideas and strategies to get people to spend money when they don't have?
So, Master Kimron is asking, what fruits or vegetables can we grow in the olive branch program to sustain or decrease our import bill? Because the import bill is extremely high. I've heard Minister Batiste speaking about the import bill. What can we do?
Well, tell Cameron, our leaders is slavery started with our people start selling us out for spoon and plate and all this sort of stupidness and tribal war. And then he was put on a ship called Jesus and he was brought into the Caribbean. And then they take cloth and they bring back in. And the same thing happening now. You put persons in office to represent you. They're not there to represent themselves. Okay? So if an officer represent me, an election comes, that election coming out, we have something in Trinidad called the Syrian Mafia. These people is who put government in office and who take down government. And it's the same thing happening here. The business sector is who control. So these folks give big money for election and they want, okay, if you get in office, I want Cameron Park or I want Montrouge, with all these places were marked for recreation and culture. But instead of building cultural center and sporting facility to curb some of the problems we have today, what we end up with is a mall. You end up with KFC. And out of KFC food, if you go and check and do research on KFC, you see the damage KFC is doing to our people. The amount of cancer and kidney problems we have in Grenada. It's circular from fast food. Now, if you go in the mall is what they call, create what they call an urban society. An urban society is what them Chinese come in here and build and say they give you low income house. So they build these apartment blocks and you can't plant a fig tree or nothing. So they put you in this box. And when you have to buy food now, you go to school and you get a degree. So you look for a job. And when you want food, instead of going in your backyard and getting your food as we are accustomed doing, you go to the mall to get food. And then you go and get clothes. So therefore now, because you have a job and you're a doctor, you want to eat now nice food. So you want food that prepare what the advertising on television. So you want burger. So you go in the supermarket or the mall, you have anything, you have burgers, you have pizza already prepared. You understand? You buy bread, so people not baking bread and thing anymore. So you find your culture. You put a lot of culture. Okay? Now, Google Grenada or do a research on Grenada in 1700. Grenada at one time in the Western Hemisphere. Grenada have one of the richest and best soil in the Western Hemisphere. Okay? At one point in time in history, if you travel to Canada and you go to the museum, the British government was willing to give up Canada for Grenada. They kind of see Canada as a big barren land. They say Grenada is rich. They say apple, anything could grow in Grenada. Anything you could think about could grow in Grenada. And the amount of herbs, Grenada is a herbal dictionary. The amount of herbs that in this Grenada, you wonder. Now, our problem, our leaders is suppressing the people from educating themselves or even teaching some of the materials we have to pass it on from our foreparents to pass down to us. That we've been getting rid of. And because of all this mall and all these set of technology and things we have today, our eye have a veil over your eye. Need to open. This is what the Floyd killing for George killing in America. Open up the eyes and open the door in the world because of that. So he need to do some research. That's why history coming important. If you don't know your history, you get caught up in these people web. But if you know your history, you can fall back on what you have and make it work for you.
Let me ask you the question. You mentioned burgers and so on. Normally, when I have burgers or chicken and fries, chicken and fries on a weekend, a Friday evening, a weekend. That's like the national dish of the country. Normally when I have too much fries, too much oily food, you know, I start feeling upset and so on. How healthy is that for people that consume a lot of these oily foods and so on? What advice would you give to them?
Grenada in the Caribbean, I think after Trinidad, Grenada rated second with kidney problem. The reason why we use too much of fried food is one, fried food shrink your kidney. As you age, your kidney shrink also. And then your kidney have little small vessels and arteries and it blocked up. So therefore you start suffering a kidney problem, or we call kidney starvation. And then you start talking about your prostate and bladder problem and all these other things. So that ain't good. The next thing we consume is a lot of beer.
Mhm.
The history of beer go back in Egypt. Egypt had four types of beer, and the Pharaoh never used to use it. One of the main ingredients in beer is plaster of Paris. You could look it up. Anybody on the adult night challenge that. Plaster of Paris, one of the main ingredients in beer. Beer damage the kidney. That is,
Mhm.
after you drink a beer, you want to pass it out, you go to the bathroom. If you eat,
And you know, before you go on, Master Coutain, I want to encourage persons to eat healthier because as it is now in Grenada, we have a crisis as it relates to kidney issues. We have a kidney foundation that is functioning very well, especially given the circumstances and the shortage of manpower. I want to encourage people to reach out to Ms. Marva Jelks and the Kidney Foundation to try to make that commitment to assist them because they do need help. Um, but as it relates to the crisis of kidney issues in Grenada, last year in 2019, we had 14 kidney patients pass away from kidney failure, 14 persons. As of last year, we had approximately 20 patients remaining. Unfortunately, we do not have the privilege of having dialysis machines in the general hospital. What we do have is dialysis machines in a private clinic, which is expensive. So persons need to look out for that as well. So I want to encourage persons to stay away from all the unhealthy foods and so on. And this is what Master Coutain is here tonight, speaking on the Olive Branch project
let me,
from the perspective of healthier eating, healthier living. Yes, Master Coutain, go ahead, please.
remember they asked for time to bring back something to show you guys. So I asked for that time out. But let me touch it. Your kidney again, as I said, you consume too much fried food. If you come in Grenada and you go in every restaurant or places by themselves selling food, what you'll find in the showcase is fried fish, fried chicken. You might find a little bake, but again they use oil. If they stew it, they use oil. Okay,
Mhm.
bake. And this is what people consuming every day. No. Let me say use 40 years of age. You eat 3 meal a day. 3 meal a day, 365 days a year. That is 1,000 meals. So every day you're eating fried fish, fried chicken. You're getting up, you're gonna eat ramen. You're eating fried egg. You're gonna eat a big oil long late in the night. What you think going on with you for that whole 300 of that 1,000 meal, like 40,000 meal you're talking about within your lifetime.
Mhm.
Okay? So we
Yeah.
actually digging our grave with our teeth. This is what we're doing. You're
So,
taking your mouth and you're digging your grave.
so Master Coutain, let me ask you a question. For the people who are financially unable, because eating healthy um, is expensive in Grenada to me. if you go into the supermarket or wherever and you need to get healthy things, it's expensive. All the organic things and so on, it's expensive. But for the persons who, like myself, who do not have the finances to continuously be purchasing these healthy things, right? What advice could you give us? What do you think we should focus on? What plants, what crops, what fruits we should try to consume?
Come and
Um,
join, come and
that
join
would be come and join the olive branch.
I'll teach, I'll teach you how to do. You don't have. I just tell you, minus. Somebody just say $20 for a small bottle of minus,
Yeah, in Antigua.
and I just tell you, you can make minus in 10 minutes time. One guy doing punch. I just tell you, he could be making condensed milk instead of buying that condensed milk to add up his cost and bring down his cost. Okay, and the same I get a lot of stuff. That's just a tip of the iceberg of the level of my knowledge. I could zoom in and tell people no. Persons who have health problem should get into the line, as I say. The Kidney Foundation, instead of, yes, you have to have some money, look for lands and talk to people like me, so let we get it planned up. When you're talking about the kidney herb and you're talking about your blood streams, what in your body that run like vines?
Say that again.
What in your body that run like a vine?
Your veins.
Your
Yeah, yeah.
what cucumber does run on?
Say that again.
Cucumbers, why does run on? Why the cucumber? And a
Water.
tree?
Water. Water.
Huh?
Water. It was in my hair tonight. Water.
No, cucumber run on a vine.
Mm-hmm.
Cucumber is what they call a creeper.
Mm-hmm.
A melon run on a vine.
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin run on a vine.
Mm-hmm.
Corylli run on a vine.
Mm-hmm.
Squash, and I could go on and on. Which
Mm-hmm.
means this food good for your arteries.
Mm-hmm. But
What
water, right?
watermelon good for your
Water.
kidney?
Water. So how much water should one really take in every day? How much water?
That is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor tell you you're supposed to take in 8 glasses of water a day. The doctor not being fair with you. If it have people in the world is 3 feet in height, alive.
Say that again.
There is people in the world 3
Uh-huh.
feet, 2 feet in height.
Yeah. Some,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Now you drink water according to your weight. A person 2 feet in height or 3 feet in height, okay? Could that person drink 8 ounce glasses of water a day, as the doctor said? The body will bloat. Too much water make you big. Least amount of water starve your kidney, right? So therefore, you're supposed to go on a scale and weigh yourself. The figure you get, you divide it by 2. And the figure you get, you divide it by 8. So let me say you get 150 is your weight. Pound. You divide that by 2, you get 75. You divide 75 by 8, you'll get 8 point something around it. So that tell you need 8 ounce glass of water at 150 pounds. So let me say you fall 130 pounds, 125 pounds. You don't need 8 ounce. Because 8 glasses or 8 ounce water will be too much water for somebody who weighs 100 pounds. And this is the kind of education out there doctors and things wouldn't tell you because they had to make the money. But there's something called alkaline water.
I know there's a saying that too much of something, I can't remember the exact saying. Too much.
Good for
What saying again?
too much of something is good for nothing.
Okay. All right. So too much. So it is possible that they could consume too much. So what they need to do is go according to weight, right? So just run by us again.
Drink water according to your weight. So I'll use 150 as an example.
Mhm.
If your weight is 150, you divide it by 2. You're going to get 75. When the 70 figure you get, you divide it by 8. And you're going to get 8 glasses of water.
Okay, okay. So
That is why there is a next teaching called water cleansing. Water cleansing is the Japanese use that system is a form of medicine. Is where you drink at least 2 to 3 glasses of water as you get up in the morning. Okay? And that's going to clean you. I'll guarantee you, within half an hour, you're going to go to the bathroom. No, you drink it. When you're done, you have your other beverage, whether your juice or your tea or vegetable juice or whatever it is you use, and then you're going. Now, around 12 o'clock, you're drinking. Around 2 o'clock, so you start to minimize the amount of water taken in because you don't want to be getting up all around the night running to the bathroom. So you're doing something what they call water cleansing. So you drink less. Before you go and sleep in the night, you drink a glass of water. Okay? I want to go into much, but the point is, this is the type of things we need to run into the doctor every minute and run in there and run in. It not help. You need to educate yourself. There's too much information out there for people to be dying with cancer and diabetes and all it. You want to tell you, it take me 2 days to bring down 215 is the number on a diabetic patient and bring it down to 7 in 2 days. And all it takes is discipline.
you see that I believe that's one of the issues we have. The things that are not good for us, it taste the best,
It's
right?
not because we
The
like sin. We
So
like
it has a lot to do with discipline. It really
discipline.
does have a lot to do with discipline because um, drinking turmeric for the joints and inflammation is not the most tasty thing. You know what I mean? It's easier to eat a barbecue leg dipped in sauce and so on.
Yeah.
Right? But you know all the shakes and so on, Master Coutain. What kind of shakes could people make at home?
Well,
Um,
again, as I tell you, we like sugar.
mhm,
Have it have 7 types of sweet in the world. Your taste buds 7 types of sweet. We have bitter, we have salt, we have natural, we have brackish, we have pepper. You understand?
mhm,
All this is different sweet, but we only like sugar
mhm.
and salt because we eating for taste, we're not eating for health. So if somebody making a shake, yes, they could use banana. They don't have to use milk because milk is for babies. Milk is not for a big hardback man like me and you. If you want to use milk, use coconut milk, use almond milk.
Mhm.
Huh?
Yeah, but you know, as you say, coconut milk. You know, there are many people that rather go in the supermarket and buy the packet, right?
Yeah.
But getting the coconut, grating it, and making the milk, you know that I rather do that is natural.
So
But some people I know they blend it, right? But
blending it is not bad.
instead of using milk, use banana.
What I'm saying, if you want to make a banana split, we're gonna put condensed milk in it. I do it off and on, but I don't need to do it. You get your banana, put in your blender, and you put in oats. You use oats as milk. You could add honey in it. If you want sugar, you add honey. If you don't have honey, you put grapes, like sugar. If you don't want to use the grapes because you have diabetes, you use cinnamon. Cinnamon is sugar. You could boil cinnamon and you use the water from the cinnamon. That is sugar. The banana is sweet. And you add your little love in it, a little nutmeg and a little clove and a little bitters or a little scent in it, or tonka bean. And you telling me, you don't have to go and put all this set of condensed milk and drink and no, you don't need to. So you come back again. And I could go on and on. And up to now, I use no sugar.
You see, the thing is, imagine a man like me, I don't like cloves,
You
right?
don't like clove. But what about you don't like clove? Kill bacteria in your body.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And most of the person that's sick in this country and have all this because we stop do deworming and all these sort of things. The human body make up with bacteria. It have good bacteria and it have bad bacteria. So if you're eating a lot of meat and all that, you're going to have bacteria. So this is where you use clove. Come and they tell you don't use black pepper, which is a myth. Black pepper helps with your digestive tract.
Say that again. You broke up for a second. Black pepper does what?
Help with digestion.
Uh-huh.
But they tell us don't use black pepper.
So you recommend we use the black pepper?
It giving you prostate and all these different things. If you do studies, deep studies on medicine and natural medicine, black pepper is good for you. That's why they tell us don't use coconut oil. In 1950, the Congress in America passed a bill and said coconut oil is not good for you. Then they went ahead and they passed a bill and said soybean, use American soybean oil. The doctor that's had the research and report, they block him by the gate so he could not vote in Congress. And they passed the bill quick and they passed soybean. 50 years after, what's the problem we have in the world? Heart problem, kidney problem, high blood pressure, stroke. Because of that, now they come back and say, wow, stop use soybean oil, go back on coconut oil. What Caribbean people do? We used to export coconut oil. We used to export coconuts. We cut them all with coconut tree. The coconut, mysteriously, the coconut have a disease. Our leaders used to have people coming through the Caribbean with plane and spraying over DDD, what they call it, thing, over us, spraying the field, and all your water you're drinking, poison. You spraying the plant for disease, and you there in the village, and the plane passing over the village. This is the kind of leaders we had. This is the people that leading us. Okay? So, what I'm saying, we need to be planting that coconut because coconut America right now is planting thousands of coconut trees in Arizona. Why are we getting rid of our coconut tree? This is the kind of conversation our leaders, our prime minister should be talking about. How could we get back our coconut estate?
And the coconut has what in it? Is electrolytes?
Coconut electrolyte, you get in water. Coconut oil have a thing in it called omega 17. That is the only oil that has omega 17. Omega 17 they use for mental patients, for mad people. Okay? It goes deep down into vessels and tissue in your brain. Now, it's also good for heart problem. All this heart problem, coconut oil and beet juice together. I have something called Q10, vitamin C. Here you can reverse heart problem. Somebody with diabetes, you give them 4 tablespoons of coconut oil a day. it will help reverse your diabetes, because what it will do, it will stop your pancreas from working and start the coconut oil coming. Because your pancreas produces insulin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
if you're using coconut food, it rests your pancreas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I could go on and on and on the benefits of coconut oil. It's the only oil you could use. You could cook with it, heat it, or cool, and it's still good. Any oil you put on the fire is not good oil after that. Coconut oil, you can heat it. It have the HDL and the LDL in coconut oil. You understand? And this is what we used to do before. Check our appearance. You want to take a calculator to add and check up. Them want people to take a piece of paper and they write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go down the road, and they start to go across. And within half or less than 50 minutes, them can calculate $1 million for you. But you understand with that calculator and you have to be checking up on what it is. Coconut oil, have them sharp.
We,
Alzheimer's disease, coconut oil.
we, we have indeed become lackadaisical in our approach to their living. We have appeared, to forgotten the condition of the health sector in Grenada. We must remember that, we must consider it, and it will guide the way that we continue to live, right? I myself personally would not like to end up in a state where I will be dependent on the present health system that we have in Grenada. We're speaking about a health system that is short staffed. This is why it is important that we as individuals actually look after ourselves, eat healthier to avoid all these repercussions. Now, Master Coutain, I know that you have done much work um, as part of the Olive Branch, promoting healthier living and so on. I know that you also do house calls and so on. And you have been successful, very successful, I might add, in assisting persons, even persons with, including myself, with what was that thing called again, Master Coutain? The
I think sciatic.
sciatic, right, with the sciatic nerve, the sciatica. Right now, if someone is trying to get in contact with you, right, to inform them or assist them with mixing a healthy drink to do the detoxing or whatever the case is, to do the hot and cold therapy that you have been trained to do. I don't believe that the persons who have just joined in would have recognized that you will have traveled even to China and did your trainings and so on, and you have become qualified to do exactly what you are speaking of now. Now, how do persons contact you? Again, right? Uh, Confirm your number is 1473
Mm-hmm. 5, 3.
4005. So
Mm-hmm.
that is 1473
Mm-hmm.
384005. And that is the contact number for Master Melvaughn Coutain. Master Melvaughn Coutain. He does therapy and so on, hot and cold, stretches. He does martial arts. He does discipline. He does the Olive Branch Project. He does guidance, discipline. Um, you also do the conscious discipline. So if persons are aware of any children, any youth, or anybody in the community who is in need of some guidance, some counseling, Master Coutain is definitely the person that you would like to contact. If anybody is having or experiencing any problems, Master Coutain is definitely one that you would need to contact, right? And his contact once again is 538 4005 5384005. He has a page on Facebook which is called the Olive Branch Project, Grenada, right? So you can definitely look up Master Coutain on Facebook on his page, the Olive Branch Project, Grenada. Master Coutain is a martial artist and definitely one that persons can learn from. As he said earlier in the show, in the introduction, Master Coutain is of Grenadian and Trinidadian parentage, and he has done much work in Grenada. The Olive Branch Project is consisting of not only martial arts and discipline, but it also
A way of life.
a way of life and aquaponics using marine life. Is it all marine life or is it just the fishes?
You could do aquaponics, doing some studies out of Greece. Greece,
Mhm.
in Greece, they do
Mhm.
aquaponics in the sea. They, they take stone and they make a base with the stone with different ponds. And then the water now vaporize and they get salt. And then they use the water from there now and they do aquaponics. They do that in Greece. Salt water aquaponics. The one I doing is what they call fresh water. There's a
Mhm.
next one we do in Israel where they pump the salt water into the land
Mhm.
and leave it for a while. And then that salt water become fertile and make the land fertile. So there's
Mhm.
different type of farming.
Mhm.
Okay? We limit ourselves is this, and this is what's going on. Agriculture not going because they put in persons in agriculture who knows in charge of agriculture who know nothing about agriculture. Just
Well,
like
that's a normal thing in Grenada, Master.
therefore it's millions of dollars spending behind fries, and we're not going anywhere. And people
That's a normal thing.
okay,
But Master Coutain, you know, as you mentioned, the mayonnaise,
mm,
it's egg white and what else?
vegetable oil.
Egg white and vegetable oil.
Oh,
So
that is
that is all. That is crazy. That
yeah.
is crazy.
No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I recently, as I tell you, see this.
Mhm.
Not much person had that. If you see anybody have this in Grenada or within the Caribbean, again, I is my assistance. Okay, I I share. So this give me COVID certified by World Health Organization. So I can open up the school and there's a number of procedure. So if person feel okay because of COVID, they can't come around me or can I am certified. I can work with them. So I
Mhm.
didn't want to go into the again. Why is Grenada and the Olympic Association? You see this? I get this from quite Houston, Texas. They recognize the work I'm doing in Grenada. And they put me into the Hall of Fame in Houston, Texas. And
Mhm.
many, many other certificates. Why is your day in Grenada? They're asking for help. And persons who not don't have a clue of some of the things they could do, telling you they can't assist you because they want it for political mileage. We need to
So,
stop that. We need to
Master
go to the
Coutain,
community and work.
you said Texas,
Houston, Texas. I received this.
Houston, Texas, in the United States of America.
Yes. And what
So
they
we,
you see,
uh-huh.
outstanding international master for the achievement, for producing, for coming up with the ideas, the olive branch. They awarded me for that. I haven't received an award from the Ministry of Sport or any one of them in Grenada
No recognition, not
or
even.
postcard to say thank you.
Mhm. So, Master Coutain, what ages you work with
I work with
Marshall?
anybody who willing to work. I willing to work with them. We could work with people
What,
from 1 to 99. They,
do you have a preferred age?
you're breaking up. You're breaking up. We need to yeah. I get up just now.
Do you have a preferred age to work with?
6 years upward will be good, long as they taking instruction. But that's the reason I'm asking for persons to come on board so that I could train them, so we could work here with 5 years, 4-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 1-year-old go down the road. You prepare them. This is not a boy child, a woman. I need to touch on this. A woman brought 2 child in the world, a boy and a girl. Grenada society from the prime minister go right back, pushing feminism. Okay? If you check his whole parliament right now, is women he pushing. Go in the ministry. Women. Go look at the side of the road who working is women. The men have been suppressed in this country because we have what they call a feminist society. The woman bring a boy in the world and they never teach him to love. They never teach him to work. No, he go to school, they give him everything to go to school. And then they say now he abusing the girl. So they come up with Gino and all these other different groups in our society. And nobody not seeing the mother of that child. Did she teach that boy child to take care of your girl child? Did she teach?
You see,
No, I mean,
Master Coutain, the thing is, I recognize, I know I saw a 2030 plan or something, a 2030 plan, something like that, from the United Nations. And they were speaking about, um, 1 second, yeah, about equality, right? But the problem is that we tend to forget the men. We tend to forget the men in the communities. So much focus is placed on the ladies, which is not a problem, but we should not forget the
it is
men,
a problem.
right? Right? So we should not forget the men. And
Earl, it is a problem because the boy still had to pick up a husband. And if you didn't teach that husband to be a man, how are we going to take care of the girl? The abuse going to start. The boy know, okay, he understand at 10 years, he bathing and he thinks stand up hard in front of him when he get up in the morning. But when he reach 25, 30 years, it's not standing up again because he not eating right. He not sleeping right. He had to be working to make the dollar to bring it home. The girl was still going to work and receive her salary. And she's still going to receive her salary from she husband. Who he receiving from? And then if he have a problem and he go in the court, the judge is a woman, the lawyer is a woman, the clerk in the judge and all the other persons in the court is woman. Even the man in the court who there as a clerk, he's a woman too, because a lot of them gay. So you as a man, you have a lot of faces, and there's nobody. Every time these guys meet in parliament, the only passing law for women, and nobody.
the thing is, Master Coutain, I do understand where you're coming from. Now we did a program last night with a gentleman, Mr. John Calise, and we were speaking about, well, sorry, they were about the system,
Yeah, record.
and the system is actually unfortunate design. We really need to look at that. But as the person who has introduced the Olive Branch project to Grenada, now how can the Olive Branch project ensure that we achieve that equality that we are looking for, right? How you bring the man from here to where he needs to be.
We have
Talk about all the violence and so on. So tell us, what could the Olive Branch
yeah.
do?
Let me tell you, I am a member of the International Taekwondo Federation, and there is thousands of program design and research to fix these problems. What we have here today, Grenada population is only 100 and something thousand. This is just a drop in the bucket to fix the problem we have in this place. We keep picking persons to represent us who only care about money and they're not dealing with the issues. Okay, and what they're doing from the media going right back, they suppress you. They don't want you to shut. We have a society that shut you up. They don't want you to talk. They don't want you to express yourself. People need to argue. People need to disagree, and then to agree, and then to reach out something called understanding. But if you keep on shutting up people going to start like what happened Friday night. People can't talk. They're going to lash out. Eat. If you're not eating right, you're going to trip off. You're going to go mad because you're not getting the right nutrients. You're not getting your iron and your calcium and your magnesium and your vitamin C, your vitamin E. You're going to go mad. Go in your mental home and see what young persons up there. You cannot live on bread and corned beef and sardine. You can't live on back and egg. You can't live on ramen. You need to eat. You cannot live on old talk. You cannot live on sex. A woman need to know. A woman need to know her body and know her body is precious. She need to know she have a tomato. She need to take care of her tomato. That is her passport to life. Who teaching these things? The churches. Look in St. Patrick. 3 young men lost their life of they commit suicide. The church council in Grenada gonna be the city gonna pray in St. Patrick. How much years now you know our foreparents praying and saying God coming for us? We need leadership. These young men in St. Patrick need a job. They need a skill. They need to have what something called strong self-esteem. I listened Brian Campbell one night, it was talking. How much years you know Brian Campbell? How much money coming Grenada going in these fellas on them hand? I said they had youth program and they had this and they had that. Them living good. But youths and them living good.
So, Master, so the Olive Branch Project, tell us. Um, you see, it is important that people reach out to Master Coutain to get involved in the Olive Branch Project because it is a Grenadian thing. It is a community thing. It can build the individual. It can build your mind. It can build your body. It builds your education. It is important. It is important. It teaches you a healthier way of life. It is we can't afford to make the sacrifice right now of not eating healthy.
Yeah. Present right now, Woban School, I need some help. The roof right now, the plastic kettle, the plastic rip up. Start to redo it. I trying to get some plastic, which is about $900 to cover the roof. To wrote to Farmers Garden, asked if they could make a donation, and I haven't seen a response. So I think because the aquaponics system, all these things inside, they're going to get soil up with the water. So I beg to the public, oh dear, please, if you could reach out, assist me to get that. Most of the material I buy to do the work is in Farmers Garden. That's the reason I went to them and I asked them if they could make a donation. So I'm still waiting. But anybody out there willing? No. Persons who want to learn and want to get involved in group within the community, come and let us work together and figure out how we could go forward doing it.
Mhm.
Forget all this set up big speech about agriculture, revive agriculture, and this and that and the other. You get up and do it yourself. I the only soul we know how to do it. Because these guys, I could tell you, I could show numbers of letters I've been writing to the Ministry of Sports. I called them, I went with all, I made it several persons. Up to today, the PS can't get back. Last, I wrote back and I asked the PS to do a proposal again and bring for them. And then you hear a young man die again this weekend. Okay? So everybody gets, when people want to get elected in office, they come in your house. But when you want to do something for the country, you have to beg and crawl to do something for Grenada. I am asking persons already who want to do something for Grenada. If you can help financially, please call my number. If you want to help physically, please contact me. If you want to learn something to make yourself somebody better in life, whatever it is again, still come on board. Okay? Don't go down like that. Too much of persons going by lacroix. Too much of person getting killed by stabs and getting shot by bullet even, and with the crossfire with the police and all these sort of things were going in Gov, a big show. Even in Fort Judy. Look what happened in Fort Judy. And the leaders of the country is most supporting what went on there to the person who do it. Because the media, every minute the media is bringing it. Come on, man. Let me start looking and see how we can build Grenada and stop playing the games. Okay? And this is what we're trying, this is what I am trying to do with the team to get persons on board and so we could do something. The Farmers Association in Trinidad, we are on board with me trying to help. They're trying to see how we could build through the Caribbean just the same way. The Farmers Association here, have never met with them. Nobody ever invited me in a meeting with them. I'm hoping one day it will happen. But this is the type of things I'm looking forward to. And I would like to see our market, Grenada, green again, with food from Grenada, more breadfruit tree plants, mangrove plant, back the mangrove, preserve our heritage. Please.
Yeah, Master Coutain, and as you spoke about the market and so on. Now, as we get ready to wrap up, we finish at 10:30. We have 9 minutes. I know that you have traveled almost around the world, not only promoting the martial arts, but promoting Grenada, where you received a lot of certificates and medals and so on. For Grenada, on behalf of Grenada, you have always had the Grenadian flag with you. You know, and we're thankful for that. We're thankful for that, for you putting Grenada on, right? As it relates to the market, does the olive branch have anything in order for the vendors and so on that have been displaced from the market? For when they actually get back into the market, have you ever considered assisting them with organizing production? Yes, Master.
You need to do a show on the market. You know, in 1990, the government of Grenada borrowed $10 million to rebuild that market. Huh?
How much?
10 million US dollars.
10 million.
15 seat Kit Mitchell win. What's the condition of that market today? 10 million US dollars. They say they're going to build a bus up, bring across the bus up by the Esplanade Mall. We need to, because a show in Grandma want to sleep. But we need to do a show on that market. Because I first understand like they lease the market, but 10 million US dollars was borrowed to build that market.
Master Coutain,
Yes, sir.
the Olive Branch project, the communities that you have gone to, the great lengths that you have gone to get the children to have a better understanding of the importance of healthier living, farming, agriculture, crops, soil, the earth, discipline, martial arts. We appreciate that. We really appreciate that. We want to tell you, keep up the good work that you're doing. You have assisted many persons in the past, and I want to take this opportunity to encourage persons to contact Master Coutain, so he could inform you of the healthier lifestyles that we all would appreciate, that we all are longing for. Again, if you are interested, contact Master Coutain on 538-4005. Of course, he is in Grenada. And his number is 1473, right? Master Coutain,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just tell us the Facebook page.
538-4005. Okay? No.
Right.
And forget this thing about Trinidad and Grenada. I'm a Caribbean man. When I in Trinidad,
Caribbean man.
the cousin man calling me a Grenadian.
Hmm.
When I in Grenada, the cousin man calling me a Trinidadian. So when they talk about this whole Black Lives Matter and racism, I tell people the most racism I've faced in my life is in this Grenada here. Because there's places you go, people is telling you plain out, he come from Trinidad and he want to change. They're not seeing you have a passion and you have something to offer. Okay? I am a walking library. Okay? And I'm willing to help, I'm willing to work. Regardless all the negativity around and all the oppressor around, they wouldn't stop me, because the more you put pressure on me, I'm going to keep on coming, as Black Stalin say. The more they kill black man, the more black man go come. You understand? Let me stop this thing and let me look to build a country. Grenada in a very, very dark place right now. And it's only going to get tougher. And to the persons who in authority, like the police, were saying they're going to step up on the COVID up this morning, our program in the radio and talking about this mask. COVID has make us much more wiser, I believe, is one. The next thing, if you're saying there's no COVID on the island, why it is you want to be charging and enforcing the law on persons is one. The problem is you. The problem is in the airport, people coming in on the airport and people going out. And there's a system and structure in place for that. And it needs to put in place immediately. And that is what all they should be talking at CARICOM level and at an international level. Somebody leaving to come here, you test them, and then you make sure they have a medical or something, and you test them before they leave, and it's the same thing going in and out. Within 48 hours, you could know if somebody have COVID. So why it is you're putting the country under stress? And a three-check case is just about control and advantage that is taking place of us. Because you're going to bring people up in the courthouse, charge them $500 and $5,000, and then he end up at the police become an inspector because he brought in over 100 person, he ticket 100 person. Come on, let me put this energy in building Grenada, putting food into the soil. We surrounded with sea. People know the lolly what they on the stone in the sea, the green moss that growing on the stone. That is very good for cancer. If you go in bulk by the selling it, people buying that to make sushi. We have it here. We can harvest it and process it just the same way. Nobody ever think about eating it. All this is things I know. In Korea and Japan is a big thing. Okay, so I need Earl, we need to cut off. That is my last word for the night. I thank you guys for listening, and please come on board. Let me do something for Grenada. Forget politics. You see why I'm talking? I talk raw. That's who I is. I'm a Caribbean man. I know no person to put in a corner and feel you can handle me and subdue me. No.
Yeah. So Master Coutain, thank you. for taking the time off. Olive Branch Project, follow on Facebook, the Olive Branch Project, Grenada. Master Coutain is on YouTube. You can look him up, look up his videos. He does martial arts classes at the youth center, right, Master Coutain?
Yeah.
And of course, he can be contacted on 1473-538-4005. The number is on the screen. Master Coutain and the Olive Branch Project, they have done tremendous work in the communities. They are seeking the assistance as they're short on manpower to go into the various communities and that discipline that we so desire. We have had murders. Most recently, we have had suicides. Most recently, and we would really like to get our young men on board. We would like to get our young women on board, and all persons that are troubled. We would like to get them on board and get them to focus their energies into something more positive and productive. It is a healthier way of life. It is a better route to take to success, a successful Grenada, right? The Olive Branch Project, Master Melvaughn Coutain, thank you. Everyone that is viewing, uh,
Before
good
you,
night to, yes, Master Coutain, go ahead.
not just manpower one. We need assistance. There's funding in Grenada for this project, but
Mhm.
I am not part of a political affiliation. So because of that, I went to the German funds they have here. I think Simon Steele and all of them, he in charge of all the green climate plan. They have SAIEB, they have all these different things. Nobody don't invite us. And no meeting or anything. So the funding, nobody don't really, when you write, nobody will tell you anything. So it's been passed around friends and affiliates. So please don't let us stop anybody from assisting us. I would
Mhm.
like to cover the roof of the greenhouse, so I asking for donation to see how I could the plastic bag, the plastic, which is the UV shade plastic. Like Farmers Garden, the bill head I got for it is about close to 900, let's say close to $1,000 to put back on the plastic. I'm asking for assistance. Please, somebody, if they could assist me, small letters in the numbers, and then with the manpower to put it back.
So, Master Coutain, just to be clear, that greenhouse that you're speaking of is in what location?
That is in Woburn. The
Right,
one,
and in the school.
yeah,
Right, so that's to do it for not only the Olive Branch Project, but for the children of, is it Woven Methodist?
yes, yeah,
Right. So it's also to assist in getting the children in Woven Methodist and the people in the community of Woven St. George more involved in doing more productive things.
yeah. And it's a pilot project in the school for other schools to learn. So
Mhm.
I need help, please. I need help to fix the netting and stuff inside of there. It's a science lab.
Mhm.
I'd really
Okay.
like to meet the authorities and to see there is money in Grenada to do it, but I am not affiliated with no political party. So, and you
Mhm.
hear me, I'm talking big and bold, so people suppress you just for that. But I
Mhm.
can't stop it. That is how I grow. I am real. I'm not false. Thank you.
We know how it is, Master Coutain in Grenada, when you're not affiliated with some. So we wish you continued success in all
Thank
that for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So once again, take care, everyone that's viewing. Have a blessed night. Join us again on the next program. We will be back. Take
thank you.
care.